So when I'm thinking about a warm-up for my horses, I tend to start in trot. Some I go to canter first, but for the purposes of this video we'll start in trot. And the main thing I'm thinking about is just, I don't want too much energy or expression because the muscles have got to warm up and get relaxed and ready for work. So I'm just wanting a nice plain trot, and one where I can start to feel that if I put my inside leg on, the horse doesn't run away or shoot off, but I can, start to turn them, push the inside hind leg out a little bit, and that when he's good on my inside leg, so here if I press, that I can let go of the inside rein and I keep inside bend. And that's what I really want to see, is that right from the beginning, I'm just encouraging my horse to go from inside leg to outside hand. And you do the same thing on the other rein. And this is a good time to identify if one rein is slightly different to another. Good, and good boy. And blowing out is a good sign when you're warming up, because it just means that they're starting to take deeper breaths. Good boy, starting to relax a little bit more. And if you find, so this way with him, he might want to drift out a little bit more because he doesn't want to come off the inside leg. So he compensates by drifting out through the shoulder. So you can see I just make my inside hand a little wider, make the circle a little bit smaller this way, and just increase the bend. Good. Then allow him to relax and pat, and then we keep the inside flexion. He stays nice and soft. Then I might take this straight, push the hand forward, making sure the nose follows the contact so that he's soft and waiting. And it should just all look fairly plain, fairly boring. Change the rein a few times. Just nice and easy. And if I wanted to put the neck lower, I don't want to take the leg off. I want to keep the leg on like a big hug. So you're squeezing them forward to the rein, and then just let the reins longer and longer, and encouraging him the nose forward with my hand, just pushing the hand down, and there we get a really nice stretch. And changing the rein, so just doing it both ways, feeling that he's constantly taking the nose to the contact, letting go over his back, and we get a nice warm up. So that's how I would look to start a warm up for this horse in the trot. And then when we go to the canter, I'll shorten my reins a little bit because I don't want to put him out of balance and then make him, or you could make him a little bit nervous if you put him out of balance when you first go to canter. So shorten the reins a little bit to help. After the canter, and at this moment in time, don't worry if it's not all perfect and precise. Let your horse have a little bit of contact, then travel forward, really in a canter that he wants to go in, provided it's not too slow or too fast. Because it's all about just getting blood into the muscles, getting him positive, ready for work. And you start to ask the same thing. You just come inside leg, release the inside hand, making sure that he's following that inside leg to your outside rein. So even in this stretching work, it's allowing me to position his body. I can get my leg on without him running off, and that's especially useful for if you were to ride a really hot horse. Something I'm really keen that they learn to accept in your warm-up, is that inside leg comes on, they come soft, take a deeper breath, and they don't speed up. Because for a hot horse, you want to ride with the leg on as much as possible, and then for a slightly lazier horse, you want to ride with a leg off as much as possible to make him sensitive. And then, because this horse, he's a Grand Prix horse, he knows his job pretty well. If I were to let the reins longer, I would expect him to take the neck lower and seek the contact. So he's always staying within the frame that I permit him and the rein length that I give him. Then he's also got to be nice and polite. When I shorten that rein length, just a fraction, he's got to come back to me a little bit. So again, if I push the reins longer, push the nose out, he stretches down and lets go in the back. He might take a deep breath because he's taking relaxing breath. And good boy. There. And that's what you expect to happen. If you allow them more rein, you want them to take a breath and relax a little bit. And then you want to allow them to come back to you when you shorten the rein a little bit. And then you do the same thing the other way. So again, it's nothing terribly special. He's a little bit playful in the change there. I don't mind that, because again, we're just warming up. You don't have to be too regimental and strict with them in the warm-up, as long as it's safe and they know their job. Good boy. So again, this way, make sure inside leg comes on. I don't want him to speed up. I can release the inside hand. And more or less he stays in a nice inside flexion. And again, that's the kind of warm-up. If your horse is safe enough, you allow him to do that, because you want dressage to be fun and you want dressage to be playful, and you've got to have that trust that, especially if they get to this level at Grand Prix, they're not going to follow that through and do something too naughty. And he's a little bit of a cheeky chap. I don't mind that. It's what gives him a bit of a sparkle when he gets in the ring. So if it's safe to do so, and you know your horse well, this is the time you can let them express themselves a little bit and have a little bit of fun, because still now a little spook, but he's back on my aids. If I were to lengthen the rein again, I'd trust him to put his neck down and I feel safe. And then if I prick the reins up again, I expect him to come back to me and behave like a good citizen, even if he's feeling a little bit chirpy today, which I don't mind. So this is all I'm really looking for in a warm-up. Nice and easy, cantering round, trotting round, long rein, allowing the horse, get ready for work, get in the right mindset, and not feel too over-controlled.